Hi, my name is Craig Nelson. I am a signature member of the California Art Club. I've been involved with them for over 30 years now. It's been a joy. I've been asked to make a few comments about some of the pieces that I think are terrific in this show. I picked out 9 pieces. I could have picked out more, so I tried to keep editing it down. I finally got it down to 9. I said, that's about it. I want to at least talk about those. My background is I've been a painter for, since about 1988. And prior to that, I'd been an illustrator since 1970. So I've got over 50 years worth of painting experience. I've judged a lot of shows, and it's really an honor to be able to comment on some of these terrific works. So without hesitating, we'll move on. And I think the first one up is by David Jenks. It's called Mysterious Evening. All right, high-key paintings, which is what this is, are tremendously difficult. And they're tremendously difficult when you involve, subtle color variations and subtle modeling. This is all done in maybe a 40% and lighter value scale. It's beautiful. It's mysterious. It's haunting. It's got everything going. The warmth in the sky, the subtlety in the wave, that little hint of light right in the sky, slightly right off center, is just wonderful. The next one we have up is a wonderful painting by Scott Hamill. It's called Cold Water. It's small. It's very direct. It's beautiful impressionism. I looked at this and I went, whoa, John Singer Sargent would envy this. Since he did some similar things where it's a very intimate painting. It's not a vista. It's like a slice of a landscape. And it's put down, as I said, very direct, very bold. It has not been fussed over. It is just wonderfully skilled in its manipulation of color, value, and technique. It's got everything going for it. Beautiful job. The next one up is a painting by Gerard Gutierrez. This is called Sunny at Sunol. I love paintings that tend to have not only an atmospheric characteristic, which this does, but it also is a beautiful, what I call pattern painting, where the direction of the sun is not as obvious, and the subtlety in the mixing of the foreground trees, the foreground foliage, and simplicity of it is extraordinary. The very simplistic color scheme looks like it might be easy to do, and it's exactly the opposite. It's very difficult to hold interest, keep subtle variations within this kind of limited color scheme. So it's a beautiful piece of painting, more refined in the foreground, less refined as we move into the distance, which is kind of how we see things. Great job. Next piece that I'd like to talk about is reminiscence, and we've got a couple of these reminiscent pieces of Edward Hopper. This is by Lawrence Kushner, Late Light on Pigeon Point. Now, I've painted Pigeon Point myself, never this intimate, never this close up, always way off in the distance. The feeling of light, the feeling of sunlight, it's wonderful. The geometric breakup of space is what really attracted me to this, be it geometric because of sunlight or geometric because of architectural variations. It's very tasteful. I like it very much. And as I said, it reminds me of Edward Hopper. Next up, another piece that reminded me very much of a little bit of Hopper, even though Hopper wouldn't have been this subtle with his colors and values. This, again, is much the same as the first piece. It's a fantastic display of high-key painting. Nothing gets dark. So you feel the air. You feel the air in the piece as you look at this. You not only feel the air, but you feel the effect of the sky in the blue shadows and even the blue shadows on the pole. And then you feel the effect of sun hitting the ground, bouncing back up into the underside of that awning. It's very simplistic and beautifully executed. It's another really astonishing piece of value control and a limited palette. And the next piece we're going to talk about is by Cathryne Trachok. Very different than the last one I just showed you. Very, very different. This has got a wonderful concept. Since it was supposed to be kind of in one way or another depicting a little bit about the pandemic, you had all these wonderful empty beach chairs, empty beach umbrellas. The beach looks like it always does. Beautiful. Full value, full color. So the last piece was very high key, limited palette, limited color. This, on the other hand, is full palette. So we're going all the way from pretty much the crisp whites to the deep, dark shadows. And it really works in almost every level. The feeling of the surf coming in, the kind of the difference in the organic aspect of the ocean and the mechanical aspect of the chairs, the tables, the umbrellas. Just got a wonderful feel. A little touch of red here and there is nice, as is the yellow. The blue is already echoed because of the ocean, but the little touches of red, little pieces of yellow, just bring this whole piece to life. It makes it really fun to look at. And once again, as is all the other pieces, beautifully executed. The next piece. In stark contrast to the last one, this one's quite small. I think it's maybe 8 by 10. It's by Ni Zhu. It's called Caltrain. And you get the feeling of not only the commotion, but it's a very direct painting. Very, very direct. Not fussed at, put down. So we're enjoying, this is one of these instances where we get to enjoy the artist's hand and the way the artist applies paint and pigment along with the subject. It's not, so we're enjoying both simultaneously. We really feel the artist's feeling of commotion and activity in an area like this. The little touch of the American flag in the upper left-hand corner, nice little piece of color that doesn't detract from the colors in the rest of the painting. It's keyed down enough so it fits beautifully. And if you look off to the right, there's these two light doorways, and around it is another very warm color, which tends to balance some of those muted reds up in the flag. Beautiful piece. Really different than the last one. Very, very different, but quite excellent. The next one is The Boaters by Susan Sarback. Now, this is a super professional painting. Claude Monet could have gone out and painted this, all right? But we have our own Claude Monet. This is really well done. Composition, beautifully, it's not centered. The concept works because the people are all wearing masks. The light to the blue shadows on the white garments convey the feeling of sky. The color of the sky is blue, therefore on a white garment. If it's not receiving warm sunlight, which brightens it up, it's going to receive the skylight. It conveys that beautifully. Reflections done very, very, this is a person that's not afraid of paint, but putting paint down with authority. So it's got everything pretty much going for it in that regard. Nice painting, really nice. Okay, last but not least, a little bit different than some of the others, by Cleo Vilett, Return of the Kelp Forest. Is that cool or what? I mean, the near complementary combination of those cool blues, the kind of amber oranges, yet neither one of them are too loud, so they kind of adhere, they work well together. There's a harmony there. There's enough warmth in the background. We're getting the feeling of distance. Once again, the fish is a little bit more rendered, has a little bit more refinement, if you will. As we move to the kelp immediately behind that fish, it also is relatively refined, not as far as the fish because there's not as much information. But as we move to the background, the colors mute down, the values complement the our superstar, which is the fish, and everything holds together because of the use, the intermingling of warms and cools. It's one of the things a lot of times people don't think about. Find a way to work warms into your cools, cools into your warms. This does it beautifully, and it's just a wonderful composition. I really like it. So in conclusion, these 9 pieces are an example of some of the excellence that you'll see in this specific exhibition. I think it's inspiring as an artist for someone like myself. I always feel like it makes me want to work harder. And that's a compliment to the artist. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to make comments on these beautiful 9 pieces.